Today is Wednesday.
Good day, everyone. I'm Nadia Wright Brown, host of Nadia Speaks, also contributing for Unchained TV. World Vegan Awareness Month is in effect right now, and it is happening in Baltimore. Nancy Poznak of Wild Heart Bistro by BotaniCuisine is here to educate us on what this all means. How are we doing today, Nancy?
Hi, Naija. I'm doing great. I'm so happy to be here with you. Thank you.
Oh, not a problem. So you got to tell us, what is this World Vegan Awareness Month and why is it so important?
Well, I recently found out about it. It actually was started by the Vegan Society, which is headquartered in England, and they pretty much set the definition of vegan, which has evolved over time. And they started this World Vegan Month, and it's just spread around the globe. And I'm very excited about it because it's not just a day, but it's a whole month. And it gives people a chance to try out what vegan means, to learn about it, to learn more about vegan food, because the food is so incredible, and learn that it's more than food, that actually what vegan means is basically living as cruelty-free as possible, respecting the planet, respecting each other, respecting all those with whom we share the planet. So food's a really big part of our life. So a lot of vegan advocacy focuses on food now, which is very, very important. So the idea of World Vegan Month is to just give it a really good call out, so really help more and more people become aware of what it means and why it's important and why it's wonderful and all that good stuff.
Yeah, so you did mention that World Vegan Day jumped off yesterday, and you had a proclamation signed by
I did.
Baltimore Mayor Brandon Scott.
Yeah.
How did you get the mayor to sign off on the proclamation?
Well, I had it under my arm and I ran up to him and I tackled him and I said, "You have to sign this." And he did. No, that's not what happened. When we were talking about it was before, and you said, "Well, just go on the city website and find the proclamation." So that's what I did. And it wasn't that hard. And they had a form to fill out and they said, "Why are you signing this?" And I wrote a little bit about that. And then I had actually found this proclamation done by Santa Fe, New Mexico, a couple of vegan friends I have there. And I got so excited when I saw theirs. I said, "We got to do that too." And it was much easier than I ever thought it would be. It took a few months to get it. And I must have done it like in June. And then all of a sudden I got an email from the city saying your proclamation is ready. And I had even forgotten about it at that point. And I said, "Oh, that's right. That's right." Because I hadn't followed up. So I went down and picked it up. And the gentleman who was the security guard said to me, he said, my granddaughter is going to be really happy about this because she's vegan. And I just smiled and I said, "Yeah, well, that's because we want a better world." And then he started telling me about all the plant-based food he likes to eat. And it was really funny. So all those little things, all those little ways that we can introduce this to people and engage in conversation. I think that's really important, that we engage in conversation rather than go out and try to hit people over the head or tell people that they're wrong for who they are. It just doesn't work, So this is something that we all share. It's the values, the tenets of living vegan are values that we all share already. And I think that it's just great to say, hey, there's this really wonderful way to live now, and let's do it. Let's help the environment. Let's help each other. Let's our health, and of course the animals. So it's all good for everybody.
Nancy, what do you do for a living? Let's talk about some of the stuff. What is BotaniCuisine? What are some of the things coming out of BotaniCuisine?
Right. BotaniCuisine, I started in 2017 as a way to try to get more plant-based food in restaurants. And the plant-based vegan was just starting to seep more into mainstream, and people were aware of it, but they weren't quite ready to add to go get on board yet, like a lot of places are now. So then I decided to go to, there you go, there's my website for BotaniCuisine, to start addressing consumers and helping bring this awareness out into the public. I started having a booth at farmers markets, and I started holding events. Remember, you helped me with the 2019 Vegan Burger Smackdown.
Yeah, that was so cool. All the sliders.
Those sliders. Yeah, Kush did an outstanding job with your sliders, and we had 5 vendors and 6 burgers. Excuse me. And it was a fantastic event. Over 400 people came, and I'm hoping to do it again. Before the pandemic, or right as it hit, I had gotten the okay to have it at Power Plant Live in Baltimore.
Wow.
A phenomenal venue, yeah. So I'm hoping we can revive it again this coming spring. It seems like it'll be a doable thing, yeah. So they were very generous, and they were going to make it real easy for us to have it. So I'm hoping to do that again. I'm about to open a food stall in a food court. My food stall is Wild Heart Bistro, which you can see there at Belvedere Square. They've got to fix some plumbing before I can move in, but as soon as that's done, I'm going to set up and start operating my plant sourced foods. I use the term plant sourced. I
What
like
does that mean?
plant sourced. I like it better than vegan up front, because a lot of people still don't really know what vegan means, and it sounds weird to people still. It just does. But plant source or plant-based is much more common. It's much more user-friendly. And then it explains, okay, this food is from plants. Whereas when you say vegan, they go, well, I'm not vegan, so I'm not going to like it. Or they're going to know, I ran into some crazy vegans a few years ago, and I don't like nobody. And I might have been one of those crazy vegans that they ran into too. So, um, so I use plant source. It's a more universal term. It's like anybody can enjoy this. You don't have to be vegan, and you can, even for people who think vegan sounds weird, like I used to think it sounded weird, they'll still enjoy the food as well. So my goal is to create a very warm and welcoming movement around vegan, around plant-based, and yes, we focus a lot on food. Food has a massive role in our lives, and food has a massive role in the world.
Yes.
I didn't know that until after I started studying all the things about agriculture and the animals, and what behind food choices, and how much, agriculture dominates our planet, and animal agriculture dominates agriculture, and it's chewing everything up around us, so we really, this shift to a plant-based diet or central diet is vital to save our planet, to for our health, and it's wonderful. I always say, like, I'm thrilled that we don't have to eat animals. I think it's fantastic. I'm so happy that we don't have to. And now, all up through technology, we have all these different foods. The plant-based meats keep getting better all the time. The plant-based dairy, the plant-based cheeses, woohoo, plant-based cheese, and that's getting better too. And then not only that, but the variety and the variety and the abundance.
Yes, we've come a long way in the movement of products. And I noticed that attending the Natural Product Expo in Philly a few weekends ago. I see you're looking for help at Wild Heart. So there's a button here. Folks looking for part-time jobs, please apply. What is this plant-powered virtual meetups? Because I want to ask, what are some things that you have planned for the World Vegan Awareness Month? Are you doing any virtual meetups, or what's happening here?
Right. Well, right now there are so many people like yourself and other people that are already doing meetings. So right now I had a bunch of virtual meetups that you could click on that link. You can see the page where I have them all. But I decided that now I'm focusing on my bistro and focusing on my food. So what I'm doing is I'm promoting other things that people like yourself do. And there's so many meetups, but I did have a bunch of them, and I have some of the links on the plant-powered meetup web page. There's a plant-powered meetup web page. And so I part of my goal with BotaniCuisine, like I said, was to reach out to people and to address consumers and people, versus trying to go to the industry and restaurants and make them change. Create the demand for these products, and then people will serve it. If you ask for it, they'll serve it. And so that was part of that, to just, I got some really great interviews, and you've helped out with that too. You've actually helped me a lot over the years, Naijha. You've been a great source of inspiration, help. So these are all the meetups that I did. Had some, there you go, some past meetups. There's
Yes.
2022. So I put those, my hosting them on hold, and now I'm just helping to promote other people's meetups. One of the first ones I did was in January 2021, and just on a fluke, I sent Dr. Clapper an email asking him if he could join our meetup for a little bit. And lo and behold, I get a response back from him saying yes. So
Awesome.
the first one I did, that's that link there. We
Yes,
have
I see that.
about a 45-minute discussion with Dr. Clapper and some of the people that were on the call. Now, those meetups were done in person. They were live, and I record them, and then I have them available on that page to share. But like I said, there's so many people that are doing all of these meetings and Zoom meetings that now the Zoom meeting is getting, very competitive. It's a very crowded field, which I think is great.
Oh yeah, it really is.
So many different points of view and so many different people doing so many different things. And so that's pretty much what I'm doing now. Yeah, I'll probably do something once I actually open the bistro. I'd like to have a Zoom there, and talk about it and get some people to be in it as well, just to make an announcement. But I'm hoping to open the bistro pretty soon. Like I said, the plumbing has to be fixed, and as soon as that's done, I can move in. So I'm hoping.
I can't wait. So the World Vegan Month right now, veganism is a rising movement. People thought that it was going somewhere, it was a fad or whatever, but no, it's a rising movement. And this World Vegan Month has been taking place all around the world in recent years, and it's just to decrease the acts of cruelty and unnecessary violence against the animals on the earth. We're looking at daysoftheyear.com, and we're looking at the month of November. Every November this takes place, so not just in the UK but in the US. Black Veg Society also has some things that are going on in the month of November, starting with our series of the Meatless Monday. Meatless Monday at the Avenue, 1700 Pennsylvania Avenue, November 7th. From 1 to 5, and we say 1 to 5. Don't come at 5:01. We'll be gone. So you have to come before 5, well before 5. We'll have samples, live DJ entertainment, maybe some cooking demos, scheduled educational literature to give away, and so much more. So you want to be there, especially for this month, because we're moving into the holiday season, and we want folks to sample some vegan nog and some vegan treats and things like that. So sponsored by Black Veg Society, City Weed. Shout out to my peeps, Dominic Nell, Meatless Monday organization, Land of Kush, and Baltimore Public Markets. They also managed the new Lexington Market and the old Lexington Market. So definitely want to come out November 7th. If you want more information, you can email info@bbsmd.org. I will put the link on if you want to register to attend. So, we have a head count. Please take advantage of that. This is our third in a series we started in August. Definitely come out. Show your love, so show your support. It's free. All you got to do is RSVP. So that's going to be happening in November. So November 7th. Anything else you can think of, like how can we expect folks to engage in this month? Should they be doing anything in particular? As I go to this PlantBased Treaty page, maybe that's something that people can engage in. Signing the PlantBased Treaty.
That's really important to sign that, because that's going to give the fuel for this treaty to really take off. And the treaty is something that's on the level of politics and government as well, and an institutional level, which is so important to have these changes. So I would say, doing World Vegan Month, just share the information with people. You've got information on your website. I'll actually be putting the information on my websites as well. In fact, I should do that today and tomorrow, make sure they're up there. I tell you, November just all of a sudden came. I woke up yesterday and was like, oh my God, it's November, really? What happened to August? I thought I was still in August or September, but it would be great to have that information. I would say share it online. It's a really good idea. And go into restaurants and say, I would like more vegan options. Let them know that, because they will serve what people want. They'll if you ask for it, they will serve it. And so it's really important that they places know that this is something that people really want. And
So I
that
think that's a call to action right there. If anything that people can do during the month of November, World Vegan Awareness Month, is go to plantbasedtreaty.org and just sign the treaty. Sign it as an individual, as a business. There's a few ways you can engage, endorse as an individual, as an organization, as a business, as a city. So that would be a call to action or a task we can take on for the city of Baltimore to sign on to this treaty. And there's three core principles: relinquish, no land use change, ecosystem degradation or deforestation for animal agriculture, redirect an active transition away from animal-based food systems to plant-based systems, and actively restore key ecosystems, particularly restoring forests and wilding landscape. So do that. Endorse the plant-based treaty if you don't know what else to do.
I love those three things. And the thing that struck me the most was restore, because I didn't know how devastating animal, fowl, and fish agriculture is to the planet. And it's just wiping out ecosystems. It's driving the sixth mass extinction that we're in. And we don't need more cows grazing. We need to plant more trees, because people want to do this, get more cows out on the pasture and regenerative agriculture. And you can do that without cows. And okay, if you want to put cows out there, go ahead, but you don't have to kill them.
Exactly.
Live. And the thing is, you can only do that to a certain extent. It's not the panacea answer to everything, all the damage that's been done by animal agriculture and industrialization as well. But that restorative is so important, because so much has been destroyed.
Nancy, what are some of the other challenges that we have to overcome? I mean, we're facing some, if you can name some, and how can we expect to overcome these challenges in terms of the vegan movement and what's happening with the climate these days? I mean, you attended the Animal and Vegan Advocacy Summit a couple weekends ago. What are your thoughts about what's taking place there in your experience?
Well, I liked this one because it was very educational and it covered a broad bunch of topics. In addition to things, about the animals, there was health, there was environment. Dr. Greger spoke, and he's brilliant. We had all kinds of speakers and all kinds of topics and events. I was only there for like a day and a half, so I wasn't able to catch the whole thing, but I loved what I saw when I was there. And I think one of the things that I see is that people's perception of what it means to be plant-based or vegan, and why that actually is healthy. I think one of the barriers is the barrier of health. People don't understand that actually, entirely plant-sourced diet is extremely healthy. And there's so much science behind that. So I think that's a big barrier. I think most people still believe they need to eat animals. And that can be tough to be convinced of that when it's been, even some experts, some nutrition experts have said for a long time that we do, but now we're finding out that we don't. And that's science-based right there. So learning enough on my own. I've taken lots of courses, and I've read a lot of things, so I really stay up with the beat of what's current, and I can see that this plant-based food movement is so powerful. And to create, I think, for vegans, to help create a welcoming vegan movement, not a vegan club, and not making it so like some people will say something like, well, if you're not vegan for the animals, you're not vegan. And I think that's ridiculous.
You think?
very ridiculous. And there's a lot of infighting that goes on, and people have to understand everybody has a different perspective, and many perspectives are valuable. But the most important thing is, if you want to believe that, fine, that's your personal opinion. But really, the whole point is to stop, all these destructive behaviors that humanity has engaged in for as long as we've been around. And there are some thoughts that actually our treatment of animals extends to our treatment of each other, and it might be vice versa. But when you take advantage, when you exploit or commodify defenseless creatures and cause so much trauma and so much suffering, and that also is destroying the planet, that's got to affect you as a person, because we have to shut off our own sense of compassion that we would normally have to pay for someone else to hurt creatures for our benefit. And it turns out it's actually not really our benefit. But there's a whole psychology behind that I think I wouldn't have understood until after I went vegan in 2017. So this whole movement of, there's another word I learned after I went vegan called ahimsa, and it's basically,
Yes.
I love that word. It's
Yes, me too.
yeah, and I've learned so much just being vegan in Baltimore, and seeing, I've learned so much about racism in and how devastating that's been, all the different forms of violence and oppression that people engage in. And the first thing we can do is take care of our own body, of our own life, and try to be as compassionate and as conscious as we can in ourselves, and that extends out to everyone else. So it's really broadened my awareness of so many things. Taking on this lifestyle, I have a different sense of justice. Justice can't be compartmentalized. And so when we turn our backs on great injustices that are done, that we're participating in, that can be avoided, we're shutting a part of ourselves off. It's like a form of self-oppression in a sense. So I've just learned a lot, and it's expanded my whole meaning of justice. And that's really what fundamentally I think for me, living vegan is about, justice too.
I love it. You're tuning in to Nadia Speaks every Thursday at 11 a.m. Please subscribe, like, share, and comment. You can go to NadiaSpeaks.com. I am the executive director of the Black Veg Society. We are meeting people where they are on their holistic health, vegan, and plant-based journey. You can support us at blackvegsociety.org. We do focus on the BIPOC community in terms of disseminating this information, but we are Black-led, and we collaborate with everyone. So if anything, I love to collaborate with businesses, organizations, individuals on a number of initiatives that are ethical, environmental, and animal rights based. So thanks again for tuning in. Nancy, as we close it out, how can folks best connect with you, follow, and stay engaged in all of what you're doing with Wild Heart Bistro and BotaniCuisine?
I would say my website, BotaniCuisine.com. It's the words botanic and cuisine, but it's written as one word with one C. So it's BotaniCuisine. I also have wildheartbistro.com. That might be easier to remember. And there's a link for BotaniCuisine, because BotaniCuisine is my educational and outreach branch, and that's my legal business entity. And Wild Heart Bistro is the second entity, and that's actually BotaniCuisine doing business as Wild Heart Bistro. That's the legal entity. So Wild Heart Bistro is just the food, and then BotaniCuisine is all the other stuff that I've been doing.
Awesome. So again, it is World Vegan Month, and one of the call of actions that you can take during this month, where the proclamation was signed by Baltimore City Mayor Brandon Scott. If you're in the Baltimore City area, hey, endorse the PlantBased Treaty. You can go to PlantBasedTreaty.org and endorse it as an individual, as a business, as an organization. Endorse the treaty, based on the 3 core principles. That is a call to action you can take. If you don't want to go too far, you're not sure about what that's all about, put your name on it. Hey, stop by the Avenue Market on Monday, Meatless Monday, November 7th, 1700 Pennsylvania Avenue, between 1 and 5. And I said between 1 and 5. Don't get there at 5:01. We'll be out of there. You want to come between 1 and 5 and check out the live DJ entertainment, some food samples, cooking demos, get some educational literature on what this is all about in terms of the vegan movement. Some giveaways sponsored by Black Biz Society, City Weeds, Land of Kush, and Baltimore Public Market. Those are the things you can do. And if that isn't enough for you, if you're in the Baltimore area, you can come down to the Land of Kush. And, we're celebrating World Vegan Awareness Month every month. That doesn't change.
I love Land of Kush. It's one of my favorite places in the whole world.
Thank you, Nancy, and thank you for checking us out. Again, whatever you do, please be well, be safe, and go vegan.
Thank you so much.
Nice talking to you, Nancy. Enjoy the
Always
rest of your day.
wonderful to talk to you. Bye-bye.